Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I am so happy to be here with you. I am bringing you a 3D project today. So we are making this super awesome, super duper amazing, cool little box. Isn't it great? I think it's perfect to put some Milano cookies in because, oh my gosh, that would be a perfect treat for somebody. I need to try and get out there and get some of those individual packs because that would fit perfectly in here. But how cute is this box? So I've used a few products to make it. I have used the Nature's Prints bundle, which is this beautiful stamp set that you see down here, and the dies that go with it, and those have cut out these flowers right here. I added this die set because it's just a staple. You got to have it. Shapes are amazing and you need them for all your projects. So they're great, and I used the circle for this circle here. And then I also used the scallop contour dies. These dies do go with a stamp set, but I have used them for years now by themselves on their own. And I used this second one down, and that is what the top and the bottom of the boxes are with. Don't mind my little Yorkie who is coughing. She has a little heart condition and she's in here with me, and sometimes she gets to coughing. So I apologize if you hear her. I do not edit my videos, so she is going to be in here in all her glory. She's having a little coughing fit. She can't breathe really well, so because of her heart. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me. So let me give you all of the dimensionals and the dimensions. The dimensionals. Sounds like a band, right? The dimensionals. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to make this really awesome project. So we start with a piece of cardstock. This one happens to be Starry Sky. And of course, you know, I'm bringing out the board. Simply Scoreboard, love it. And so this piece is 7 1/4 by 10 1/2. Okay, so you're going to cut your cardstock down to 7 1/4 by 10 1/2. So you use almost a whole sheet, and that makes it a nice wide box. And so you're going to score down the long side, which is the 10 1/2 inch side. We're going to start there, and we're going to score at 1 3/4 inch. 4 3/8, so we're gonna go 1 2 3 ticks. 4 3 ticks is 4 3/8. 6 1/8, that's 6 1 tick. 8 3/4. Let's do that one more time. 1 3/4. 4 3/8, which is 1 2 3 ticks past the 4. 6 1/8, which is 1 tick past the 6, and then 8 3/4. We're gonna rotate it to the short side. Now we have the 7 1/4 inch at the top. And now we're going to score in two places. We're going to score at 1 3/4. And we're going to score it at 5 5/8. So 1 2 3 4 5 5/8. All right. Now we are going to burnish on all the score marks. I'm trying to hold it up so you guys can see them. Grab my bone folder. We're going to burnish on all the score marks. Two more to go. All right, then I'm going to use a thick bladed scissor, which is not our paper snips. They're very thin blades. So this one has a nice thick blade. So I'm going to use that, has a nice thick blade. Here's our paper snips. See how thin they are? Super thin compared to that. So this is what I like to use. We're going to get rid of 2 pieces completely, and they're going to be these right here. It doesn't matter what side, because this is a symmetrical box, so it doesn't matter. So we're going to get rid of this one and this one, or we could, you know, flip it and get rid of this one and this one. Doesn't matter, but I'm going to do on the right hand side here. So I'm going to trim in from this edge, And then I'm going to get rid of this square right here in this corner. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to trim in to that score mark, and then I'm going to get rid of this corner completely. So that's what we have so far. Okay, this is going to be the flap of the box, the one that goes inside. And then, okay, these right here are forming the side flaps. So now we're going to cut in right here, and we're going to cut this straight. So now we have one side flap, the front flap. This is going to be the other side flap, so I'm switching to the other side. All right. So this is the top of the box, the two sides. Okay, that's what we have so far. This is going to be the back. This is the back. So we're just going to cut straight, and I like to cut on both sides of the score line if I don't angle cut. So I'm going to go ahead and cut on both sides of the score line and then just pull on that piece. I'm going to do it both sides. We're working our way down our box here, and I will show you at the end and place it down so you guys can take a screenshot if you want. So that's the back of our box. These are going to get glued. They're the sides. And now we got to do the front of our box. That's this flap. So we're going to do the same thing we just did there. We're going to come in on either side of this score line and snip it away. I like having that extra room it gives when you get rid of that little bulk of paper there in the center. So that's how I do it. I know not everybody does that, but it's the way I choose to make my boxes. All right, so now let me move these pieces out of the way and this, and we'll set it down. All right, so I'm going to put it this direction because this is the way I cut it. So I cut those two squares off. They were angle cut, remember? I guess they were this way. I can't remember. There we go. Because I angle cut the sides. There we go. Oh, Lord, I can't do this. I can't put my puzzle back together. There we go. Woo! So these two were cut away completely. Then I angle cut this side flaps. Then this is the back of the box, the bottom of the box, and the front. Now, the only thing I still have left to cut is I'm going to trim down these two edges and this as well. Okay? And I'm going to angle cut this slightly as well, because I think it'll help it tuck better. So I want to take off about 1/4 of an inch, and you can use your paper trimmer if you want, but I'm just going to use my scissors and come across. Okay, I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off of this flap and 1/4 of an inch off of this flap. These are the ones that are getting tucked into the box, and I just want there to be enough room. I want it to have enough room in there so that everything fits nice. So I took a little bit off of these two sides and off the top. So let's go ahead and assemble our box. I'm gonna lay it there if you guys want to take another picture now that I've trimmed those edges off. And let me clear all of this cardstock out of your camera shot. All right, we're gonna glue it together. I'm gonna use our wet glue. And I'm gonna start by gluing the back of the box, like so, to the sides, okay? So let's go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of the box here, on the flap here. And then we're gonna slide that in and tuck that in place, right, so that it meets this edge. I'm just gonna hold it. Perfect. Let's do the other side, this flap. And I like to do both sides at the same time. Some people don't like to do their boxes like that, but I do. I just think that it helps me to see it come together, and it helps me to show you that it comes together. So there's that one. Okay. Now we're going to do the front, same way. Going to put that inside, the other one inside. So there's that one. And the last one. So there's our box. Pretty cute, right? These are the flaps that are gonna go inside. So I'm gonna tuck them in, slide them into the box here. Gonna make this one be last. Let's slide those in. And then, I think I didn't angle them quite enough. I'm gonna angle them a little bit more. Let's grab my scissor. Just gonna give it a little bit more of an angle. Slightly bigger. There we go. I think it just needed that extra right there. Let's try again. Oh yeah, goes in way easier. And then we're gonna slide the front in and the side. So there's our box, okay? Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our 2 die cut scalloped pieces on the top and the bottom. So these are them. Okay, so we're gonna put the glue on to our box and then put our piece on top. So I'm just gonna add this to the top. Make sure that I grab my tweezer here and push this up. Kind of bumped it a little. And then we're going to go ahead. This is the top of our box. So we're going to kind of lay that there. What I'm going to do, actually, it'll be easier if I turn this upside down and there's like a little stitching all the way around. I'm going to lay the box into that stitching. You'll see. So I'm going to place it down and I'm going to lay that into the stitching and make sure that the stitching is even all the way around. And it is. And then just give that a minute and it'll grab. Just gonna kind of rub on it like this. I'm gonna do the same thing to the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my adhesive on my box. I love this adhesive. And then again, we're gonna use the stitching and we're gonna use the back side. And then we're gonna place this down and put our box bottom and make sure that it's on the stitching on all the sides, that it's right there in the center, and it is. I think it looks awesome. Okay, so now it looks kind of like a big blue ice cream sandwich. Oh, I'm thinking of ice cream. I love ice cream. Tell me in the comments what your favorite ice cream is. Okay, so now we have our box. So let's pull the lid, which is this piece. Here we go. I got confused. So I want to make sure that we had it the right direction. So this is the front. So now we're going to decorate the top. And I've chosen the Sun Prince Designer Series paper. This is the back, and we're going to glue this little piece, and we're going to put that right here in the center. So this little piece is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8, and that goes right there in the center. Let me get my silicone mat out and my wet adhesive, and that's going to fit right there in the center. 2 5/8 by 3 7/8, which is why I had all those eighths when I was making my box, right? Because I wanted to make my box to fit into the center of that die cut. And so sometimes you just got to use the eighths. I mean, they're not as easy as the fourths and the halves, but you can't discriminate. The eighths need love too. All right, so we're going to put those in there. Slide it around till I get it right where I want it. Make sure that it is in there nice and centered. Perfect. So there's the top of our box. Make sure the front's still there. Good. Now I'm going to put this strip. It's another piece of the Designer Series paper. Isn't it so pretty? I love the splatters on it, and I'm going to add that right there. Go ahead and place that down. That looks awesome. What do you guys think so far? Okay, I cut one of the small, let's see which size it is. Looks like the third one of these circles from the Stylish Shapes. And then I stamped and cut this fern leaf, this flower, and this other little leafy piece. These were out of Bermuda Bay, and this was out of Mango Melody, and this is out of Basic White. And I just use scraps. Again, I use scraps a lot. I'm sorry that I don't have dimensions for you, but I just use scraps to cut them. So you'll stamp them and then you'll die cut them out. So we're going to stamp this piece here with the Starry Sky. And we're going to start with a heartfelt thank you. So we're going to do that first. Sorry about my puppy. She's not usually in here when I film, but she wanted to be with me today, and so I brought her in here. Apologize for her little noises. Okay, so there's a heartfelt thank you. And now we're gonna do the splatter. Now I don't want it full strength because it's super dark. So I'm gonna stamp off, and then I'm gonna add it right here. Okay, see how pretty that is? Again, I'm gonna stamp off, and then add it. And now I want just a little bit of this tiny splatter part. So I'm just gonna ink that up, stamp off, and add just the splatter on both sides. Right there. All right, so there is our beautiful circle. And we can clean our our stamps. I'm gonna use this scrap paper that I used to kind of get the rest of that off of there. Starry Sky is quite a dark color, and I like to purge before I saturate my chamois with it, so I can get lots of stamping done and I don't have to go and rinse it out that quickly. All right. So that's the stamping. We've already done the other and die cut those. So let's start putting our piece together. So the first thing that I did was I glued these pieces to my circle. So I'm going to use the wet adhesive. And one of my viewers sent me this really cute little holder. It was my favorite color, hot pink, and I just thought it was so nice of her to do that. I wanted to mention her. So this glue stays in there, which is super cool. It was really nice that she did that for me. And so we're gonna kind of put the box to the side for right now because we're gonna do this part. So we're gonna attach the fern and that piece to our circle. So I'm just gonna add some adhesive on the side, and then I'm gonna kind of position my fern, and then I'm gonna hold it here and see how it looks. I like that. And then I'm gonna add some to the stem here, and we're gonna bring this one in from the side. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe down a little bit more. Yeah. So we're starting to form that piece. Now this is gonna go on the top, so I'm gonna do that last. So the next thing I wanna do, this is gonna sit like that, is I'm gonna do this ribbon. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'll move this out of the way temporarily. I'm going to grab our ribbon, which this is the Starry Sky metallic woven ribbon, and I'm going to take and wrap it around my fingers about 4 times. Okay, and then I'm going to snip it. And then what I do is I slide it off. And I take that piece that I cut, this long piece, and I wrap it around and it makes a loop. And then I take my ribbon and I stick it through that loop. And then I pull. And it knots that center section for me. See? Gives me a nice little knot there. So now I have this really cute bow with all these loops, and that's what's going to go tucked underneath my box corner. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that down first. I'm going to put some dimensionals to hold it in place. We just have a world of noise today. It was not the day to record, I guess. So I'm going to put that one to hold that piece, and we're going to put another one on the other side. And you can see the ribbon, I'm going to kind of open it up, and then I'm going to use these dimensionals to kind of like tack it down so that it stays how I want it. It's a trick. Okay, see how it's nice and open? I'm going to give this one more time. Give it a little opening. Let's kind of lift that one up a little. I think I want it over more. Yeah. I'm going to put this one right here. All right, let's see. That's going to go good. Now we want to add a few dimensionals to the backs of this. So let's do that. We're going to start with a large. We'll put some here. Oh, that one needs small ones. Let's get the minis. I'm going to fill in these spots here with the minis. All right, so that's good. Let's see how that looks. It feels good. I think it looks good. It has good stability. You can see the crazy loops on my bow. I love it, love it. So let's go ahead and pull, excuse me, I'm a little hoarse from talking. I'm gonna pull these ones off the bow first. And then I will flip over my little circle and get these guys off the back. And now we can attach this onto the front, and then we'll add our little yellow flower. Oh, this is just the cutest. Okay, the heartfelt thank you. Make sure it's straight. There we go. And now we're going to add our flowers. So let's bring back our glue. And I'll add a little there. And maybe right on the side edge. This flower is going to kind of lay right here on the edge of our, and I think I'm going to sneak a dimensional behind it. I didn't do it early, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the back off of this dimensional. I'm going to tuck it under right there. I'm going a little farther in. There we go. And that will help hold that in place. All right. What do you guys think of this project? I think it turned out awesome. I'm pleased with how it turned out the second time. You can see it's our cute little box. I hope that you enjoyed watching me make this video. I certainly enjoyed making it for you. Definitely hit me up if you have any questions. Let me know. Comment in the description below. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and definitely share my video to your Pinterest so that you can make this project later. I am grateful to have you on my channel as always. And I am so happy that you're here with me. Definitely check me out again, and I will be here with you again soon. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!